So up next, the only political pundit for which Gen Z holds any serious respect, from the Young Turks, airwaves of Twitch, and from the romantic ideations of every woman I have ever dated, we have Hasan Piker.
Oh my God.
Woo! What's up, everybody? I have no idea how to work this thing. 1 second. Okay, I'm just gonna freestyle. Does this work? Alright. I spoke on a podium right around the corner, around the block, 4 years ago in the aftermath of the Parkland shooting. And I look back at that video earlier this morning, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I had a lot more hope back then. And after repeating the same things in perpetuity over the course of the past half decade, and even longer than that actually, I can't help but sometimes feel hopeless. So I'm not gonna feed you false promises, but instead try to identify the reason for America's unique gun problem, which often feels like a natural disaster due to political inaction from Congress and the Republican media apparatus that treats every mass shooting like inevitable, unavoidable acts of God. But I will also tell you what is to be done. But first I want to answer why. Why are so many Americans in love with their guns? I mean, we're in California, so it's a little bit different, but some will tell you it's for home defense or for stopping tyranny, even though tyranny is here. I haven't seen anybody stopping it. But the real answer is simple. It's because we, Americans, love our treats and we love our toys. We here in the United States live increasingly isolated lives, desperate for a sense of community, shared perspective, and belonging. We're alienated from our labor, and we are alienated socially. And in that isolation, we find community in the commodities we consume. Our consumption choices become our primary cultural signifiers. Some of you like Funko Pops, some of you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and others find that same sense of community in guns, unfortunately. The problem is, Funko Pops don't cause nearly 40,000 deaths a year. There's no Funko Pop manufacturing business that's pushing for a specific one that makes it easier to kill multiple people because it's the coolest looking one, according to all the consumers, the most popular one, with the most customization options, so it makes the most money. There's no toy lobby that raffles away the exact same banned toy right after 19 kids are slaughtered with it, offering it like a mass shooting starter pack. Now, the reason why I mention this is because the problem goes beyond just NRA dollars, because we talk about the NRA all the time. I mean, fuck the NRA, obviously. But beyond that, the NRA is mobilizing people effectively. And those are people we can convince. We must focus our efforts in organizing on what unites us, like our shared values, in pursuit of a life of dignity and our material interests. Class consciousness and labor organizing is the only solution to the political inaction that comes from both parties. Not just the Republicans, but the Democrats too. Because they will not offer anything but condolences, so we must force them to take the action necessary. Because we've run out of thoughts, we've run out of prayers, and more importantly, we've run out of false solutions. First it was metal detectors, then it was making our schools hardened targets, it was bulletproof backpacks and blankets, then it was a good guy with a gun, then it was more cops in schools, and we saw how well that went. Then it was not enough God, not enough thoughts and prayers, and now it's door control. And look, I feel bad for the Republicans. I mean, sometimes they have to get really creative with it. Like, they do have a tough job. Mass shootings are so commonplace that it's impossible to keep deflecting from the main issue with new false solutions. They're looking for increasingly stupid reasons because they don't want to admit the problem is easily accessible, broadly available guns. And let me give you an example of how bad it gets. Stephen Scalise is such a slave to the gun lobby that despite being shot in the ass with an AR-15 a couple years ago, he still went on television this past week and defended guns by making a comparison to 9/11, stating, "We didn't ban guns after 9/11. That's what he said, or ban planes after 9/11. That's what Stephen Scalise said. And he's right. We didn't ban planes, but we sure made it a lot harder to get on one. I'm not even advocating for the level of training and restriction requires a firearm to meet the standard of a pilot's license. I mean, it would make society demonstrably better. But it should be similar to a driver's license at the very least. If you want to use a gun for home defense, you should be able to demonstrate that you are properly trained. If you want to use it for hunting, you already have to get a license for that. You have to get a license for hunting, and it's far easier to get a gun than it is to get a license for hunting. You should be able to undergo mental health evaluations and bring at least 2 character references like comparable OECD nations do if you want to be able to do it. I don't think these are outlandish ideas. And look, this might not be very popular here, but I say this as someone who shoots guns regularly in a safe manner, obviously. There's a reason why gun violence is a uniquely American problem, though. Yep. We have more guns than we have people in this country. And it's increasingly easy to get your hands on more. And the common sense solutions are simple, and yet politicians can't seem to get anything done because they serve capital rather than the people. They put the profits of the gun manufacturers above the lives of innocent children. And you have every right to be angry at that and demand change, but without leverage or a mechanism to demonstrate power, we will play this song and dance over and over again. So the solution comes from organizing, not just at the street level, but organizing at the workplace where capital consolidates and controls all of our lives. I too feel despair, but I feel better rebuilding the foundation of change for a better tomorrow, and while it might seem so far away, it should not stop you from having the audacity to hope. United we bargain, divided we beg, so I say no more begging. Now, I'm just a dumb Twitch streamer for the most part, but I do have someone very cool coming up right now. His name is Sylvester Ani. He works as a caregiver within the autistic community. He's a teacher who cares. That's what he wanted me to tell everybody. That's how he wanted me to hype him up. But he's done more than that as well. He founded a non-profit organization, The Love We Don't See, to highlight the love within the community through education, social uplift, and advocacy for the eradication of poverty. It's my honor to bring up Sylvester up here now. Thank you.
Now you're a little bit taller than me.